Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Saturday, December 18, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Los Angeles Clippers vs Oklahoma City Thunder. Los Angeles is averaging 106.1 points per game. They scored 103 points in their last game, making 47.1% of their field goals and 33.3% of their three-pointers. Marcus Morris Sr. led the way for Los Angeles with 24 points and 8 rebounds. Eric Bledsoe finished with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Reggie Jackson added 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. Los Angeles has played well defensively, giving up 104.9 points per game. They gave up 124 points in their last game and will need to do a better job if they want to get the win. Even with all of the injuries for the Clippers, this Thunder team isn't close to being trustworthy. Not only are they coming off 3 straight losses, but they have fallen in defeat in their last 6 games in their home building. This one simply comes down to me believing in the Clippers as being the better coached basketball team. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league, period, and they'll be able to put sustained pressure on a Thunder team that can't even buy a bucket. Marcus Morris Sr. and Reggie Jackson are both capable of stepping up and delivering bigger performances on the offensive end of the floor whenever necessary. Morris just scored a team-high 24 points against a Utah Jazz team ranked 5th in the league in defensive efficiency. Oklahoma City is averaging 99 points per game. They scored 110 points in their last game, making 41.9% of their field goals and 37.1% of their three-pointers. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way for the Thunder with 33 points and 5 rebounds. Josh Giddey finished with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Kenrich Williams added 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Oklahoma City has done a better job defensively, giving up 108.3 points per game. They gave up 113 points in their last game and will need a better performance if they want to win this game. Our first betting advice is to pick Los Angeles Clippers, -3. To be fair, the Thunder are just a rebuilding team trying to get better. Fans will be happy to know that Luguentz Dort, the only other player averaging double scoring figures outside of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, is trending towards returning on Saturday. The Clippers could be missing a significant chunk of their offense, especially if Paul George is forced to sit this one out. So this could be a real opportunity for the Thunder to put an end to their losing streak. Los Angeles was only averaging 104.7 points per game on the road with George in the lineup. They clearly aren't going to be any better without him. Of course, the Thunder have been bad enough offensively that they can't depend on missed shots from the Clippers to save them. They just need to make sure they do the little things right, like taking care of the basketball, competing on the boards and knocking down free throws. Los Angeles is definitely accustomed to playing shorthanded considering they made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals last season without Leonard in the lineup. But not having both Leonard and George is asking for too much trouble. And the Clippers could be running into a Thunder team with Luguentz Dort back in the lineup. The good news is this Los Angeles group is a great defensive team. They aren't completely dependent on inflated offensive numbers to win games. Opponents are only averaging 44.2% shooting against them this season, and they're a top 10 team in forced turnovers. Dort returning would be huge for the Thunder, but one man isn't going to save the worst scoring offense in the league. Our second betting advice is to pick over 207.5. Washington Wizards vs Utah Jazz. Against the Suns, the only Wizard player that seemingly came to play was all-star guard Bradley Beal. Beal poured in 26 points in the loss on 11 of 18 shooting. The rest of the Wizards, however, weren't up to the task. Only one other starter scored in double figures in the game, and the Wizards were out-rebounded 47-32 by the Suns. The Wizards' woes were increased by not having starting point guard Spencer Dinwiddie, who sat out for knee maintenance. The team only had 11 players available for the game. The Wizards will need to right the ship soon as they are in a 4-way tie for the final 4 playoff spots in the Eastern Conference at the moment. The Washington Wizards will be playing their 4th of a 6-game road trip and are facing a tough test against the Utah Jazz. Washington is going through its worst period of the season. The Wizards lost 7 of the previous 8 games and 6 of the last 7 away from home. The Utah Jazz are playing the second of back-to-back games after taking on the San Antonio Spurs on Friday, but the hosts are still strong favorites in this one. Utah is one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, with 8 wins in a row and 4 straight home victories. Despite the fact that the Jazz are playing 2 times in 2 days, they are a much better team than the Wizards, and unlike many other teams in the NBA right now, they don't have an injury and COVID-19 related problems. Utah is the best team from the field, 48.2%, and third from the perimeter, 37.3%, while the Jazz are in the top 5 in rebounds, 46.6%. Those numbers suggest that the hosts will dominate the Wizards on Saturday, which is exactly what I am thinking. In the team's recent win over the Clippers, the Utah Jazz offense was on full display. Along with Mitchell's game-high 27 points, 3 other Jazz players finished with 20 or more points. Jordan Clarkson scored 21, Rudy Gobert had 20 points and 17 rebounds, and Bojan Bogdanovic added 20 points. Utah shot 53% from the field as they dominated the Clippers. The catalyst was, without question, Mitchell. Mitchell scored 19 of his 27 points in the second half and 13 of those 19 second-half points in the third quarter as the Jazz pulled away from Los Angeles. Our first betting advice is to pick the Jazz at -10. Donovan Mitchell led the Jazz with 27 points, team-high 6 assists, and 2 steals. Jordan Clarkson was right behind with 21 points and 4 rebounds. Bojan Bogdanovic scored 20, while Rudy Gobert posted a double-double of 20 points and game-high 17 boards, along with 2 blocks. The Jazz have the best defense in the NBA that is scoring 115.6 points per game, while their defense is 4th in the league as it allows 104.1 points a night. The Washington Wizards were pretty powerless against the Phoenix Suns on the road and succumbed to a 118-98 defeat without winning a single quarter along the way. Washington failed to cover a +8.5 spread and now didn't cover any of the last 8 games. The Wizards currently stand at a -12 to 17-1 Austrian shillings record. Although the Wizards shot well from the floor, 48.8%, they lost the game below the rim as Phoenix recorded 47 rebounds opposite Washington's 32. Also, the hosts made 25 free throws, while the Wizards hit 12. Bradley Beal led the team with 26 points and team-high 5 assists. Deni Avdija added 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 dishes, and 2 steals, while Montrezl Harrell had 12 points and team-high 7 boards. Our second betting advice is to pick over 220.5. Don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the high-stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice.